Hello everyone, it's Kat and I'm back today to update you on my project pan. Now, I'm doing a bit of batch filming today and I've decided to change my lip but nothing else. So if I look very similar to my last video, that's why, but surprise, it's a different lip. I did mention in my no buy update that I am also taking a bit of a break from this channel for about a month. I'm feeling a little bit like burnt out and overwhelmed with a lot of stuff going on at the moment. Nothing in particular, it's just I feel like I've got a lot going on. I'm always like, for example, on weekends, which it is now, my kids are playing, they're going out playing, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay home and do film. It's like, I just feel like things are sort of dragging on me a little bit. So I thought if I don't do my sort of project pans and a few sort of regular things, I'm gonna skip it for a month. I'm gonna keep using my project pan stuff, but just check back in 2 months rather than 1 month. I think I just need a little bit of a break and just sort of like refresh a little bit. So that's what's happening next month. There is other content that's going to be sort of dribbled out. That's probably things that I've already filmed, but as it is, I want this to sort of be my last filming day if possible. I think I've got one other lip product to review, but I might do that a bit later. So anyway, that's if I've disappeared for a bit, I'll be back. Anyway, I've made some good progress with my project pan. I've got so much stuff here, I don't know where it is. Okay, let's talk about the empties first. So first empty is my finishing spray by Uemura. So that's the marking. So I was up there when I introduced it. Last month was down there and I used it up. Now it's been really easy. It's been really hot. I have it at my desk where I work. And if I'm just like trying to refresh myself throughout the day, it's so easy to use. So that's why I've used it really quickly. What I'm introducing, I'm sort of working through sort of smaller ones that are a bit easier. These, I might go through these really quickly, but I'm gonna see. I've got my Smashbox. This is the Photo Finish Primer Water in Fire. This was a limited edition release for Christmas. They came in duos. So I've got 2 of the duos. So I've got all of the different scents. So there's fire, water, air, and earth. I eventually want to work through all of these. So I'm going to start with fire because it's the one I've used the most. But the marking is here and I'm just going to see how I go. Now, since I will be taking a break next month from Project Pan check-in, if I use up one of these, I'm just going to insert one of these into the project and just update you on how it's going. But I think that one will be fun. This one has a black pepper and cinnamon scent, which is interesting. Let me have a spray. The spray is really nice and the scents are really nice, even though that's not really a scent that I'd normally go for. The water one is sea salt and lemon. That's probably a little bit more me. And if you want to know, geranium and melon is air. That's nice. And also cedarwood and vetiver is earth. So all of these I'm happy to use, but I'm going to focus on fire first. My Nikkia Joy Cosmetics powder, I used it up. I've taken out the stopper. I used it all up. It's all gone. I used it up about a week and a half ago and I ended up shifting my focus. Get a load of this. This is how much powder I've been using at the moment. I ended up shifting my focus to my e.l.f. This is the Halo Glow Setting Powder. I really like this. I think for the price, this feels like a high-end powder. It's one I'd definitely repurchase, and I finished that one as well. So I took out the stopper and finished that one as well. So I finished that one in the last week and a half. So since my last check-in, I've used 2 powders up. Now I'm doing something a bit momentous and very ambitious. I'm going to try to use up 2 Laura Mercier powders that I opened this one today. I pulled the little seal thing off. And this one has been only used and swatched a couple of times. Now, these are both massive. They're 29 grams each. So it's a massive amount of powder. They're both translucent loose setting powders in translucent. But one is the normal one, which I've had for a long time. This was in a box at the back of my drawer, but I've had it for years. So it's about time I use it up. The other powders I have in my drawer are a lot fresher, like as in a lot newer. So I thought I'd focus on this one. This one is the glow version. So you can see the cap is more metallic. This is so glowy that it's essentially like a big tub of powder, like a loose highlighter. This is not a powder that I can put just on my face. Today I've tried, look how glowy I am. I put a 50-50 mix in here and swirled it around and it was too glowy. That's how glowy this is. I'm going to zoom in and show you because it's ridiculous. Okay, I've obviously got a lot of glow on my face, but if I just show you, this acts as like a highlighter. It's not like an Hourglass ambient lighting powder. It is a highlighter. So all over your face, it is ridiculous. See if I can show you on my hand. The lighting's not the best, but there you go. Look how much glow that has if I turn this down. There you go. That is not a face powder at all. That's a highlighter. I'm going to keep one of these containers. I was thinking of keeping the Nikkia Joy one because it's bigger, but it's also cracked. So I might keep the e.l.f. one, and I will make like a ratio, maybe like 2 parts matte to 1 part shiny. And I'm going to try to work through these by the end of the year. That's the goal. I know the shiny one is going to be the hardest one, but maybe when I use up my next, like my highlighter, maybe I can shift that to being a highlighter as well. I'm not too sure. It's going to be a big task. I've also used up my Burt's Bees lip oil. So this is completely gone. I've lost the lid, but that's done. I also am going to note, I don't know where my Lanolips tinted like lip balm is. I'm sure that once I find that, I can use that up in like a week, but it's somewhere. I don't know where it is. Might be in my car, might be in my handbag. I've looked in a couple of handbags, can't find it. It's somewhere. So once I find that, I will work towards that. And if I do use it up during the month, I will add in a new lip balm. But to replace the lip oil, I've got this other lip oil. This is very cute. It's the Ciate Watermelon Burst Hydrating Lip Oil. It's just a little one, smells really nice, tastes really nice, and it's a great little lip oil. So I've got that marked at the back in yellow, which you can barely see. Hopefully you can see that, but that will be a little fun one to use up. I've also used up my mascara. Now this is just the Hourglass Mini. It started getting quite flaky and sort of like flaking into my eyes and not really, like I'd do one eye and it'd be really sort of look good, and then the other eye I'm like, oh, it's not really doing anything. So it's just getting dry, so that one is going. I am going to replace that with a full-size one. Now this L'Oreal Telescopic Lift Extra Black, which is that one that went viral for bad reasons. It's actually a nice mascara, but it's just so fully loaded when you take out the wand that you need to scrape a lot off so it doesn't go clumpy. But I'm wearing it today and I really like the effect, but you really need to scrape off that wand. Like, it is thick. That's just the one that I currently have open. I thought I'll just add that to the pile. And then I used up my e.l.f. This is my Instant Brow Lift Pencil. Now, last check-in, it was at like a tiny little nub, so it's not a surprise that I used it up. I think it literally took me like 2 or 3 days to use up after that video. But I did preemptively add in new brow products last month because I knew this would be done. So let's give you updates on those. So the 3 brow products that I have in this project now, I've got a brow powder. This is the Foolproof Brow Powder by Benefit. Now, I didn't weigh this, but I have been using it quite a lot. Oops. There's like no pan action. There's just sort of scrapes. And it does get a bit of hard pan, especially the dark side. I feel like the 2 formulas feel very different. The dark half is a lot drier and you need to sort of scratch in it a lot more and it can get hard pan, whereas the light shade is a lot softer. Ironically, I am in between the 2. So I don't really do light at the front, dark at the tail. I just sort of mix the 2 and I usually go for the middle and just sort of put my brush or applicator over the middle and use it. I like using this in conjunction with the brow setting product, which I'll have weights on the screen. This one I find, I'm so used to sort of brow pomades controlling some of the hairs, whereas the powder doesn't. So I do find that I need to go over with some setting product. I like this, it works, the combo's fine. On days where I want something a little bit less filled in, or days where I want something a little bit more sort of precise, I also use my e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. Now this is a micro brow pencil, so I'll put a comparison of where it was up to on the screen. I've been using it, but not predominantly. I just feel like this is going to take me so much longer to use up. So on days where I don't really care about having perfect brows, which are most days to be honest, I'll use this. Like today I'm using this and the brow setting product, whereas I haven't touched this for a few days. So yeah, I just been reaching for that. Something that I've nearly finished up, and look, if I wasn't busy over the next few days and I could film, I would have waited to film this because my Life's a Peach blush, I did repress it. So I'll show a photo of where I was up to last month, which was a big pan. Then I repressed it. And now this is where it's up to now. Not much. That is like 2 applications worth, I think. I'm wearing it today. So under there, I'm wearing it today. I would have used this up, but over the last couple of weeks, I've been using liquid blushes from Glaminatrix because I was doing a review on them. So that has been my main blush over the last 2 weeks. So this has only been something that I've been reaching for in between testing out that product. So this would have been done. So I'm going to sort of consider this done because in any moment now it's going to be done. I'm not going to add in a new blush because I have another blush in here, which is the MAC That's Peachy blush. I love this. It's a Glow Play blush. It's a putty formula. It's got a beautiful sheen to it. It's a nice peachy color. I think this shade is no longer available. It's been discontinued, but it's beautiful. I love it. And I'm really excited to use this. I wore this yesterday for the first time and I was like, oh, I love it. To be fair, if I wore this yesterday, probably would have been gone today, which is annoying. But I wore this yesterday and I was so excited to use it. So this is, it's sort of like an incentive to use this up, to start using this. I've only used this once because I have been focusing on that blush and testing those liquid blushes. So I'm hoping you're going to see some really good progress next check-in because I'm very excited to use this. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful blush. Since I've been testing those Glaminatrix liquid blushes that give a sheen to the cheeks, I really haven't been using much of my Nabla highlighter. It's beautiful. I'm wearing it today, but I do exclusively use this with powder products. And yeah, I just haven't been using it much. But so there's not going to be much of a difference on the screen in terms of usage. But again, I'm going to pull this out a lot more. This is glowy enough that I don't really need a highlighter with it, but the highlighter's pretty, so I could make something work, I'm sure. Oh, this cheek product has not been very good to me this month. So this is the Kevyn Aucoin. It's the Neo highlighter in Sahara. So this is technically a highlighter, but I use it as a bronzer and highlighter. So this end is more bronzy, this end is more highlighter-ish. You can see it's really jacked up. Like it is, there's mess going on. Now I'll have some photos on the screen. Essentially what happened was I'd hit pan, it had started to crumble, and I was at my parents' place and I thought, oh, I can repress this, and I don't have my isopropyl alcohol, that's fine. I've got finishing spray. And I sprayed some finishing spray on it. I tried to press it down and it worked, but it also created a lot of hard pan. So hopefully you can see that there's a lot of hard pan that's formed because of it. And then when I break through the hard pan, it sort of becomes a little bit like messy and sort of chunks off. So it's a bit of a mess. I'm still using it, but I think this is going to be one of those products that, especially that side, which is the highlight side that I've been using, it's just going to go, like once it starts to break down and just turn to crap, I'm not actually going to worry about it too much. I'm just going to use what I can. And the usage of this has also taken a bit of a beating because with those liquid blushes, I don't tend to use bronzer. So that review has really delayed progress on the cheek products here, but that's fine. I'll get there. All right, let's talk about some base products. I'm going to admit that my Bobbi Brown, this is the Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I think I've only used this twice this month. I will have weights on the screen, but there's not going to be any great progress. And it's probably because it's quite hot and being quite muggy. So I don't feel like I need an extra layer of moisture under my base. I feel like it just sort of makes things a little bit greasier and slippier. So that is probably something that I'll really hit up in winter. We are now in autumn, so we're getting slightly cooler, but we're not quite there yet. I have been using these a lot though. Sometimes I use the concealer exclusively all over my face when I'm in a rush, but generally I use my Light Illusion foundation by Flower Beauty. Let's turn this around so that ugly thing is not there. And I've been making decent progress. I'll have weights on the screen. Again, I use this most days. Onto eyes. My eyeshadow base that I thought was going to be done by now, I'm still going with it. I'm not even going to put much effort into taking photos of this. Like I just use it when I can. When I did do looks and show you how I sort of use these products and the looks I like to create, I do mention that I don't really like this color with the eyeshadow that I tend to like using because I find the darker base sort of takes away the sort of light twinkly element of it. So I haven't been using this every day. If I was using it every day, it would be done. What I'm actually thinking of introducing on days where I want something a bit lighter and a little bit more shimmery, I actually want to use up my Sigma. This is the eyeshadow base primer in the shade Bubbly. So there's quite a lot of that in here and it's a stick, so it's easy. It does like crease if you don't set it, but it's like a good sort of one and done, quickly, easy sort of thing. And I have used this a couple of times the past month and I've sort of liked having it around. So I'm going to take a photo of where that's up to, but essentially that's just like a light sort of champagne color. There it is. So it's nice and shiny, and this can be a sort of nice shiny base for my shimmery eyeshadows. So I thought that might be a nice combo. This can be used on its own. It can be used as a base, and I think it will sort of really complement the eyeshadow that I've been wearing. Speaking of the eyeshadow, I've got my NARS Duo here, and last month I did hit pan, and I've hit even more pan. So especially the shimmery shade. There you go. I've just cleaned off the pan a little bit so you can see it better. This is the one that I'd probably put over that shimmery base. I think they layer really nicely. Let's give that a demo. There you go. They work really beautiful together. All right, the Huda Beauty eyeliner. So this is a double-ended eyeliner. It's got a liquid side and it's got a pencil side, but I'm really focusing on the pencil at the moment. There's really not much left, to be honest. There's only a little bit, but I'm finding the liquid side is getting a bit gluggy and dry, and I'm fine that whenever I use it, like I'll put some on and I go, okay, that's cool. And then I have to like really like shake and get the product out to get the other side and get enough product on the wand to do the other side. So I think the liquid side is on its last legs. The pencil side I want to use up, and I'm hoping if I can use it up in the next couple months, when I do check back with my next check-in, I'll have a brand new eyeliner that I can use. I think that'll be exciting. So that's my focus. The last things I'm talking about are my lipsticks. Now this is exciting. I have been using these quite a lot. So I have rough numbers. Like last time, I did roughly mark down how many times I've used these. This is minimum because there would have been times where I forgot to mark them down. But on the screen, you will see the photos of where they're up to last month, where they're up to this month, and roughly how many times I've used them. Now, last month I did actually use a few of them on my cheeks. This month I didn't do that. Again, I was testing out those liquid blushes, so I didn't bother. Also, they don't blend the easiest, so they have a cool effect, and I quite like the colors, but they were a bit of it was a bit of a mission to do that, and I didn't think it was really worth it. But yeah, just looking at like If Only, for example, if I don't use this up by next check-in, which is 2 months away, I don't know what's going on with my life, because it can be done. So I'm really looking forward to getting these done. I think the berry will be sticking around for a bit longer, but these nudes I sort of wear most days, and it's quite easy to get through them. And yeah, I'm quite happy with that progress. So that's where I'm up to with my project pan. I feel like some of this is really like plodding along really nicely, and other things I think I'm challenging myself a little bit. I'm thinking of those Laura Mercier powders, for example, but I am skipping next month's check-in. So next time I check in for this project, there'll be 2 months of progress. I'm hoping the products will look a lot different to where they are now. So yeah, let me know how you're going with your project pan if you're doing one this year, and a big thank you to my members for supporting my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.